Hello, 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 friends. I just realized I forgot to turn on the other camera, so let me do that really quick. I think the the microphone is working. That's what happens when you are a one-woman show sometimes. You're not sure if you're fully set up, but I think I am now. Hello, happy Friday. I am so excited to start the weekend off with all of you. And if you haven't noticed, I have a pile of packages that we're going to go through before we dive into tonight's content. Tonight, I'm going to do a mail opening because I stopped by my P.O. box and I had several packages from viewers and I want to say thank you. So I'm not going to tell you who the packages are from. If you sent them, you know who you are, but I want to share with people what was sent to me. And I also want to I feel like this is just a nice way of saying thank you to the people that send stuff to me. It's not meant to brag. It's not meant to show off. It's not meant to do any of that stuff. I just want to open the gift that was sent to me for the person that sent it. And this is the easiest way that I know to get it in front of them. So there you go. After that's done, I'm going to shift into a project that I'm making. I'm going to give you all the details for what that is when we get there. But before we do anything tonight, I have two announcements for you. And the first is a congratulations to my very good friend Ian, the off-kilter crafter Ian. He took first place, viewer's choice, at the Sewing Machines Plus virtual quilt fest for his Rainbow Vortex. If you guys don't know what this quilt was, it was the Legit Kits block of the month, the very first block of the month that they ever did, and it was a vortex of all sorts of rainbow colors. He did all the piecing for that and then handed it off to his quilter, Nancy, who is known on social media as the Very Thoughtful Quilter. And she did a phenomenal job on that quilt. And honestly, the win was well deserved today. And I know he was a little let down because he also had that quilt entered and on display at a local quilt show and it did not get a ribbon. So I know he was feeling a little sad about that. But when this came through, y'all really showed up for him. So thank you if you went over and voted for him. Thank you if you went and voted for Tiffany. Thank you if you went and voted for anybody. But most especially, I am sure he is super appreciative of your votes. Speaking of Legit Kits block of the month, I do want to show you really quick. A new block of the month is heading out for Legit Kits. And I just realized I don't have the screen here. So we're going to add this in really, really quickly. I have a, I'm adding, there we go. I have, sorry, let me just resize this. Hello. This is what happens when you're not prepared, folks. This is what happens when you're not prepared. So I have a brand new announcement for you that I want to share. So Legit Kits is doing another block of the month. It's going to start shipping, I think, at the end of March. Your first payment will be due as soon as you sign up, and then after that, it's going to be on the 14th of every month, and I think it's $39.99 for the kit. This is going to be a 12-month block of the month, and it is one of their kits that's already been on the market. They've just broken it down into a block of the month format. It's Deep Dive. It is the beautiful sea turtle underwater swimming with the fishes. I have signed up for this. And I'm really excited about it. And I'm paying my own money for this. I'm not getting it for free. I am not getting it in partnership for any content. I'm doing this because when I saw Deep Dive released, I was like, ooh, I want to do that. But As you know, legit kits are expensive. They're a little pricey, but this will allow me to break up the price of that kit over 12 months. It'll also allow me to break up the work over 12 months so I won't feel like I'm overwhelmed working on this kit. So I'm going to do it. I will probably share content of the project as I go along. It's just shorts and reels. I'm not planning to do any and I'm not getting paid to do this, and I did not get the kit for free, so I'm not planning to make content for it. But if you are interested, I want to let you know that sign up is live right now. If you do exclamation LEGIT, so legit, BOM, you'll get all the details that you need. And I have a special code that you can use at checkout to save 15% off of your first month, which will bring your total cost for just month one down to about $34 instead of the $39.99. So if you're interested, legit BOM in the chat, the live chat now, and I will put all that information in the description box of the video after the live stream is over. So those are the announcements that I have. Congratulations, Ian. Congratulations on your very well-deserved win, my friend. I am going to move my microphone just a little bit because I feel like it picks up my voice a little bit better when it's down at the bottom. So $39.99. Yes, it's $39.99 for 12 months. The website isn't saying that. I'm looking at it right now. Subscribe and save, $39.99. I'm not sure. All the details that I have, $39.99 every month for 12 months. So if there are questions, comments, concerns about, and I'm double checking, the program runs for 12 months. You will be billed for $39.99 on the 15th of each month beginning in April. You may cancel at any time. Yep, okay, that's, just go to the website. All the details are there. I do promise you that the code is active though, so you'll be able to save 15% off your first month. Maybe I misspoke. Maybe I didn't say $39.99, so there we go. All right, I want to show you the packages that I got. I'm kind of eager to open them because I haven't opened them before. So we're going to start off by just kind of going to, oh, it's below the photo. Got it. Okay, awesome. Thank you, Terry. So I want to start off by showing you, we're just going to go to the overhead first, and I'm going to zoom you in a little bit. We're just going to keep it on this nice tight shot so I can show you the things that are here. If you don't know, I love quilted postcards. I have a box full of them that have been sent to me from other swaps and viewers for various occasions, and I have a little pinup board in my sewing room where I go through and pull those out every so often and change them out just to kind of decorate my room with a little bit of fan mail. These are really easy to make. They are really, really easy to send in the mail. Obviously, you can just drop them in the mail. This one did have a little bit of plastic put over it, so it was stamped on this. But they just take a stamp, they drop in the mail, and they're a great way to let somebody know that you're thinking about them, a loved one or whomever. This is also a really great way to get, dare I say, fan mail. And I don't mean that to sound the way that maybe it came out, because this is small. It's a personal touch that you handmade. And I get to hold on to these. I don't get rid of them because they don't take up a lot of room. So I love these. If you want to send me a postcard, I would love it. My address is in the description box down below. So thank you, Katina, for this lovely postcard. I did get it. And I am going to go ahead and pull it out of the plastic so you guys can all enjoy the beautiful postcard with me. I'll give you a nice close-up shot. Looks like it is Valentine's Day themed because she's got a heart on here. So all she did is put a piece of fabric on the postcard, cut out a heart, and just cut it with some pinking shears and stitched it on top and put some ribbon over it and did her zigzag. Super, super easy to make. And look at how great of a Valentine this would make for a loved one. So yes, 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 definitely send these out. I'm going to put this up on my board. All right, the next package that I got is actually not from a subscriber. Well, maybe Natalie's a subscriber. I just want to go through this really quick. Natalie Pratt is so kind to send me these boxes for free every month. So we're just going to go through, dive into the content, see what's in here, and then we'll move on to the other packages and then get on to our night sewing. And I am watching the chat to see what's out there. I see lots of people are congratulating Ian on his win. Well deserved. So you guys keep talking about that win while I breeze through these packages really quick like. So here we go. Come on. Website don't want to work. All right, so this is the, come on. Really? Safari is not working nicely. So this is the March box, and it looks like the pattern for this month is going to be a mini quilt or pillow called Spring Meadow. If you can take a look at it, each block is basically going to consist of all of those triangles. And to make this, we have got all of these beautiful spring fabrics. And then we've got some more of these. I think these are probably like little, I don't even know what they are, but maybe scraps because they look really small, but it's probably, you probably don't need a terrible amount. You probably don't need a lot. So those are there. We also, oh, I see the sweet treat this month. We also have a quilt binding spool. I have a ton of these. I absolutely love these. They're great. Let me show you how they work. They are from Stitch Supply Company, and you can get them in a number of different colors. You have 2 slots inside of here that allow you to thread your binding through, and then you just wrap it around however many times, and so you can keep your binding nice and tidy, and you got a little bit of sparkle in your room. It's made out of plastic. It's nice and sturdy. It feels kind of like a quilting template would feel. We also have a sign that says Easter egg hunt, hop this way. This is a cute little piece of decor that I'll put on my mantle. Not sewing related, but cute nonetheless. Oh, hello. There's some more things in here. And my box got beat up in the mail, so I'm glad those didn't drop out. We also have some more fabric. This looks like a solid. And then we've got some batting. So all of this is for the project. We have 2 packages of HAX1 8012 organ needles. There are 5 needles in each pack, and these are the needles that will work with my Juki machine. So I'm really excited to have those. I actually use organ 8012 HAX1. So these are the exact needles that I use on my Jukis. I will put these away and actually use them. It's nice to get needles that I can use in the Juki, or should use in the Juki for a change. And then the last thing that we have is this little package of Cadbury mini eggs. This is one of my absolute favorite treats for this time of the year. They're delicious. I already have a bunch of these. I'm slow rolling them. I will set this aside, or my daughter will steal them from me. One of the two. So we'll see. So that's what was in the Ginger Quilter box this month. I don't know if I will get around to making the project on a live stream, but maybe. We'll see. We'll see. I'm just going to set that aside for now. Let's take a look at, let's put the camera back on me for a moment, shall we? Hello, Melissa Feldhaus. I see you in the chat. Thank you so much for being a channel supporter. I'm trying to recognize the channel supporters a little more often. I see Jean's there as well. And just scrolling through, Christine Kidd is here. She says, what was the price for this box? I think it's about a $60 box. Christine Kidd is telling Ian congratulations. Donna wanted to know what the fabric line was from the box. Sure, absolutely. Thank you for helping get that question in front of me, Ian. It actually is listed in here, so let's take a look. It is spring, the pattern is Spring Meadow, and the fabric line is Bunny Trail by Danny Mogstad. It looks like those little pieces of fabric were 2.5-inch strips for the pillow blocks. So Bunny Trail by Danny, D-A-N-I, Mogstad, M-O-G-S-T-A-D. Alexandria said, I didn't realize you were in Manassas. I visited there a few times when we lived in Fairfax County in D.C. Yep, I'm in the Manassas, Occoquan, Quantico, Woodbridge, Springfield, Burke. I'm trying to think of all the towns that are around here. But yes, I will tell you, if you look at a map and you look at 95 and you look at 66, I'm somewhere in between there. All right, let's move on to the next package. I want to get through these so I can start sewing. Susie Rose Finley says, greetings to one and all from a rainy 53-degree Las Vegas. All right, so we're going to take a look at the overhead again. This is from Brenda C. I did cross out her address because I didn't feel like it was nice to share somebody's address on camera, but I didn't want to take all the stuff out until I was here with you. So let's see what's in the bag. Julie says, hello from St. Joe. Love this live session. Oh my gosh, you guys, she made me something. OMG. She made me 2 somethings. She made me 3 somethings. Holy cow. Okay, so there's a card in here. I'm going to go to the over the face shot while I look at this, and then I'll show you guys all the details on these. Oh my gosh. Oh, they're little project bags. Let's see what the card says. I just want to say thanks for your videos. I saw you at QuiltCon on Saturday. Here are some bags for you and your daughter and mom. The bag creator is Rosie's Art Studio on YouTube. She is a great teacher. The name of the bag is Clearview Perfect Pouch. So if you guys are curious on how to make this, the bag is Clearview Perfect Pouch. This is what they look like. And they do have a bit of body at the bottom so they can stand up. Oh my gosh. You got a little handle on here, a nice zipper tab. Oh, love it. Look at that. Mary is going to love this one, though. I'm going to tell you that right now because Mary has a thing for all things sunflowers. So she might be hard pressed for this one. But this is the second of the 2 bags, and there's obviously the sunflowers inside. Oh my gosh. How cute. How cute. And then the third is some honeybees. Oh, my stepdaughter Katana loves honeybees. She keeps talking to one about wanting to have a beehive, and she hasn't done it yet. So Clearview Perfect Pouch is the name of the pattern. And again, that is from Clearview Project Pouch is the name of it, and the YouTube creator is Rosie's Art Studio. So this looks like a really easy make. If you are interested in making yourself one of these bags, go search that channel up, search up the video, and have yourself a good sewing session this weekend. Thank you so much, Brenda, for those lovely items. I will keep this card with those, and we'll try to send out a thank you card. Okay, here's the piece de resistance. So listen, I've got a P.O. box in the area. That's what the website address is. If you send me stuff, it goes to a P.O. box. There's probably you guys probably already figured that out. Don't want to put my home address on the website. So I run over occasionally to pick up packages, and I know the lady that's running the UPS store where they're at, and she says, I walked in and she was like, you have 6. And I went, what? So she brings the stuff over, obviously the postcard and the smaller things. 2 packages for Ian. It's fine. I'll hold him till I see him again. And then these 2 monstrosities, both from the same person, and they're very heavy. I never get packages like this, you guys. So I am a little weary to open this on camera because I don't want this to turn into like, give me the things. That's not the point of this, but I feel like I owe you a thank you for sending this. So we're going to open it up in just a moment. I do have to adjust I can't talk problems. It's very warm. It's reached probably mid 70s, high 70s maybe. And I still had the heat on in here and I'm sweltering. So I wanted to go turn the air conditioner on. So here we go. All right, let's dive in and see what we got. Tiffany is in the house. Hello, Laura Lynn. Hello, Mary. Terry says, very useful bags. I agree. Holy cow, I think we're going to have some giveaways. Look, there's a letter. Just give me a second to read this. Let me just read the first sentence. I hope you do not mind that I am sending a couple of things your way. Okay, you could probably relate to this. I don't think I'm going to read the whole letter to you, but I will read the beginning. She says, "Hi, Becca. I hope you do not mind that I am sending a couple of things your way. Reality, really, I just went through all of my fabrics, patterns, etc., and what an eye-opener. All of my sewing stuff has been sitting in my storage bins for nearly 10 years. I knew that I had a lot of stuff, but not on the scale that I just but not on the scale that I had, and I just went through. After taking in all of the inventory of what I have, I hope you don't mind that I am sending a few things your way. This okay, and then the rest of this is I'm going to leave the rest of this for me to read later. Thank you, because I'm going to share some of this with you guys. And we're going to do a couple of giveaways tonight. So Mary, I know you're out there in the chat. Thank you so much for being there for me. We will do a couple of mystery packages. I don't know how many, but I'm going to share this with you. But I get first dibs on what's in here. So let's go through this and see what is up for grabs tonight. I don't know why it's recording. That's probably why everything was running a little slower. All right, so we're going to go to the overhead view. I'll pull out the items one at a time. I'll show you what they are, and I'm going to put them in one of two piles. Either I'm going to keep it pile. Actually, let's go here. It's either going to be the I'm going to keep it pile, or it will be a mystery giveaway pile. So the first thing that we have is focus, camera. Focus. There we go. It's a charm square pack of pin drop. That's nice. I'm going to move this over to the side. And then we're going to have a few other. She did package this really nicely, by the way. Everything is saran wrapped or bagged, so nothing got messed up in shipping. Holy cow. We've got Artisan Spirit Shimmer, and there are two of those. And then we have Riley Blake B Basics. So these all were in the same bag. I'm going to keep them together. So far, I am, yeah, I have no words. So we're just gonna go. We have another package here. This is all Michael Miller fabrics, and look at the cute bundle. We've got some ombre fabrics in here, and this ombre looks like it goes from a red to maybe orange, yellow, green, all the way through the spectrum of colors, if you can see that. And then you've got a couple, there's 3 cuts. You've got some, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much is here. I'm not going to take it apart, but there's that bundle. Oh my gosh, we've got more charm packs. No, this wasn't from Tiffany, by the way. I will tell you, this is from Jennifer. This is from Jennifer. I do want to be clear about that. Sorry, I think I've been so... Hold on. Okay. All right. I know, Carolina says, wow, a few things, LOL. Colorworks Concept. There are 2 charm packs of that. There are these 2 they're little thinner charm squares. I've seen these in the store before. They're Magic Gems, 5-inch squares. And then we have Sweet Treats by Kim Schaefer. There are 2 of those as well. I'm going to put these in with the other charm packs for now. I think I have to go back and read the letter, but there might be a few things in here that she did intend for me. So as I go, after we pick the winners, I will go through the packages and divide up what I'm going to send out, but I will make sure to keep back anything that was intended for me to have, which is, I'm going to tell you right now, this bag, even if she didn't want me to have it, this is my bag. We're going to start off with a mini jelly roll of Country Rose by Lala Boutique, because you all know I love me some Lala Boutique, and you can tell why. My mom just made a whole friendship braid quilt out of this exact fabric line, so I'm really excited to have that. We also have some 2.5-inch strips of some Wilmington jewels. These are batik fabrics, jewel tones. And this, Ian, stop drooling. This is mine. You can't have it. And I feel like, Ian, this is the original one, isn't it? because the reprint of this is on my shelf and I don't think it has the same color background. Oh, Ian, are you drooling? Did Ian's quilt win? Pam, yes, it did. Ian, tell me, is this the one for me? It's for me. I'm keeping this bag. This one's mine. No, like nobody else is getting this. Sorry, this one's mine. I'm gonna set that aside. Let's see what else we've got in here. Ooh, I don't know if I can give this one away. I might trade you for the other one though. This is a package of Bali Pops. There we go. Ian just texted me in all caps. That's the original! It's mine now. And these are all of the fabrics that are in there. I'll pull you in nice and close so that you can see it a little bit better. Lots of purples. Karen Brunette says, yes, I believe that's the original. Yes, yes, yes. And then we have a little roll of washi tape. Okay, Mary, I got you. We have a little roll of washi tape. This I will probably pass on because it is Halloween, and I know several of you out there would love that. Oh my gosh, there's so much more. Okay, we have this whole big bundle, you guys. Let's see what's in here. This is fun. This is kind of, oh, Ian, look. Ian, look. Ian, look. Oh my gosh, look. Oh, it's mine. That's going to my pile. All right, here are some. These feel like scraps or fat eighths. I'm going to keep them. I'm going to try to keep. Oh, that's really pretty. Jennifer, you have got my style, girl. I like this one. Nope, mine. Then we got the horses, and we got some feathers. We've got some of that. Oh, I remember this fabric. I had a fat quarter of this fabric, and I thought it would be really good for postcards. We're going to put it in my pile. And then we've got this. I used it all up. This is, by the way, the collection name is Homebody. Cotton and steel fabrics for all of these, I believe. And then we've got some deers. No, those aren't deers. Those are the other animal that's not a deer. I don't know, whatever. But it is from spring 2014. So out of print. Oh, this is for Ian. Never mind. You guys. Ian, this was in your bag. This was in your bag. So I can't give this stuff away. This one was for Ian. I'm so sorry. We'll still go through Ian's bag. I just got a text like just now. It says, that bag has my name on it. Literally, it has my name on it. Fine. I didn't see it. I honestly didn't see it. We will keep this set aside for you because I am sure, but maybe that 1 yard cut might be missing. I don't know. Here are, these look like fat quarters, an older fat quarter bundle. Shouldn't have showed you the bag. I don't know what this line is, but I'm sure Ian's like, I know what that is. I know what that is. I have it. I want it. It's mine. Good try, Becca, Jean says. Fallon is also in the chat tonight, and I want to make sure that I'm giving her and all of her wonderful goodies on her website a shout out. She just published a video today on 5 quilting rulers that you need to try. So make sure to check that video out and then check out her website for the stuff that she and her husband hand make for quilters. All right, fine, Ian. We'll talk tomorrow. He says he doesn't recognize that line. Okay, well, we'll look it up. Regrettingly putting this back into a lay bag. Sad. We'll talk. We'll have words. Listen, I take tax. I'm just saying. Keep sending stuff here. You keep storing stuff here. I can't make any commitment that it won't get lost. All right, we've got a couple of rulers. At the bottom of the package, these are the Sidekick and Hex and More rulers. This is the mini Hex and More. I've not seen the mini, but I have seen the big one, which is right here. And then we have the small Sidekick. I had the bigger Sidekick at one point. So these are the rulers, and she saved the papers for them too. So that's really nice. They look like they are very lightly used, and she's already put the grippers on the bottom to keep them from being anti-slip. So definitely holding on to those. Ian said she does take a tax, and I am okay with that. Better be. And it might be that tulip fabric. I'm just saying. You can have the rest. All right. This one is a box that says open me second. And I think the reason they did that is because there was a letter in the first box. So Jennifer, we're going to dive into box number 2. And I will look at the bags to see what's written on them before I do anything else. Holy kit. Like literally. Holy kit. Holy, this one was heavy. Kit. Okay. Wow, there's a letter in here too. Maybe this is for Tiffany. Let's open it first. That's right, we don't know. All right. Becca, yep, more cleaning out my stash. Hope you don't mind me taking over. My mom, so she says her mom bought this for her when Gravity was first released back in 2015. Her love for rainbows differs from Ian's. Like Ian, she just wanted this quilt because she loved it. What killed it for her was the overwhelming task of making the quilt. She passed it on to me thinking I would get it done. Between life, work, and not having enough Snickers bars to eat, I'm not going to work on this quilt. I have no love for it, so I am sending it your way. Use it for a giveaway either on yours or Ian's channels, or keep it for yourself. I did see in your video of your sewing studio where you started a Gravity quilt. Yep, but never finished it. Yep, well done. Well, Becca, someday is here. Enjoy the kit. I did actually. So let's look at the fabrics that are in here, and I'll tell you the story of my Gravity quilt. When I first started sewing, I tackled one quilt, a rag quilt at that. Oh, these are all solids, Kona cotton solids. Oh my gosh, look at that. And there are 3-layer cakes in here to cover the entire gamut of all of the colors from Kona cotton solids, I'm sure. So, and then there's the book for the pattern. There we go, just like that. That's the Gravity quilt. I know Ian has done an unboxing and is working on one of these, so if you are curious, make sure to check out his channel for all of that stuff. So the story of the Gravity quilt, that's what those rulers are for, by the way, because you need these rulers for that kit. So I'm going to put all this together. Story of the Gravity quilt. When I first started sewing, can't even see me because I did that. When I first started sewing, I decided to take a class on quilting. And when I signed up, well, sorry. Thank you, Diane, for subscribing. I appreciate it. So when I first started sewing, I wanted to get into the world of quilting. I made a rag quilt and then decided, I probably don't know enough of the stuff that I would like to know. I had been teaching myself by watching YouTube videos, and those were all fine, well and good, and I definitely was getting a lot out of them. But I wanted to learn in a classroom environment because I'm hands-on, and I just felt like I would get more out of it. So, actually, no, that's not true. I'm a little distracted. Before I took the class, I worked on a quilt, and I walked into a local quilt shop, and they had Gravity in all its monstrosity rainbow goodness hanging in the quilt shop, and they were advertising it as an upcoming block of the month. This was like 2017, 2018. Like, I hadn't even taken a quilting class. I had just been teaching myself little things on YouTube and trying to figure it out as I went. And I looked at it and thought, oh my gosh, that quilt is gorgeous. I want to make it. Well, I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do it, but the ladies at the quilt shop wonderful ladies that they are, convinced me that yes, I could do it. And they had no clue that I had only ever made one rag quilt and was still trying to figure out how to sew a straight line. So I signed up for it, and I went in and did month one, and I brought the month one blocks back and showed them and got my show and tell. And then I did month two, and I brought those back. And after month two, the lady that owns a quilt shop that runs a block of the months looked at the back of my pieces, because you would hold up your pieces, and if you had your block of the month from the previous month finished, she would give you a little token, and you could save them up, and on the final Thursday of every month, you could use each token for $1 off anything in the shop. So there was an incentive for you to do your blocks. Well, I was collecting my tokens, and towards the end of the class, she saw the back of my block of the months. I was piecing it with black thread because I had no clue. It was Gutermann polyester thread, nothing against that, but I didn't understand about how thread adds to seam allowances, and so using maybe a Deco Bob or something else would help. But more importantly than that, I was not sewing with anywhere near 1/4 of an inch. In fact, I was cutting all of my fabric with pinking shears because I felt like I had to. And then I wanted the fabric to be really, really stiff. So I kept starching upon starching upon starching to the point where the fabric was starting to get flaky when I would starch it, because every time I put a hot iron on it, I would want to redose it and best press. It was a mess. So after month 2 or 3, I just decided, you know what? I want to do this quilt, but I don't want, I want to start over, and I don't know that I'm ready to pick all the fabric. So I put it on hold, and I set it on my shelves. And what Jennifer, the lady that sent those wonderful boxes to me, thank you, Jennifer, what she was alluding to is when I first moved into the home, after this sewing room was set up, I did a live stream where I opened up all of the boxes that had been in storage for months while we moved, and I had the sewing room built and all the things. And I came across, as I was coming across things, I was really considering, am I going to keep this or am I not? And so for the things that I wasn't going to keep, I paid it forward. I donated it to other people. Most of it did go to Tiffany, a good friend of mine that lives out in Arizona. You guys all know Tiffany. And that was one of the things that we came across. I don't think that I had the entire kit together, but I definitely had the pattern and some fabrics, but it had been so long that I couldn't remember which fabrics were brought for the kit, because I didn't even know to keep all my kit stuff together at the time. It was a mess. So now I have a proper kit, and I'll have to really consider whether or not I'm going to make that. Yeah. Okay. You know what I do want to do now? I want to look at the chat and say hi to everybody. Carol says, hey everyone, I just had to share. My husband got me the Juki TL 2010Q. Awesome! Becky Quinn is here from Michigan. Hello, hello, hello. Julie Pike, thank you so much for subscribing. Hi Mom, I see you're out there in the chat. Alexandra says, I just joined your VIP program. Woohoo! Yay! Awesome, awesome. I'm so excited. Kelly says, I need your opinion. Usually I sew the binding to the front and hand sew the binding down to the back. If I want to sew it down, should I use 2 1/4 or 2 1/2 inch binding? And should I sew it on the front or the back? So if you're going to hand sew it, the binding down to the back, the 2 1/4 should be fine. If you're going to sew it by machine, 2 1/4 might still be okay, but 2 1/2 is just as easy to cut too. It gives you a little bit more room. I like I like a thicker binding from the front because I feel like that frames the quilt a little bit nicer. I do like using 2 1/4, but I've been lately using 2 1/2 inch strips for my binding, and instead of sewing it on with 1/4 of an inch, I sew it on with like 3/8 of an inch from the front, because the more distance I put between the raw edge of the quilt and where I'm actually sewing, that's going to be the width of the binding when I wrap it around at the back. So what I prefer to do is stitch to the front and then pull it around to the back. And usually if it's a show quilt, I'll ask my friend Mary to help me finish binding it. She loves to hand bind. One of these days I will get in on that. But if I don't want to hand bind, if I'm going to bind it entirely by machine, I will stitch it to the back, wrap it around the front, and use a left compensating foot to very narrowly stitch on top of the binding, just next to that fold when I pulled it over to the front, in a coordinating color thread that blends in with the binding. If I'm going to have it hand done, if I'm going to have the binding finished by hand, then I will attach it to the front. I will wrap it around to the back and hand tack it down with some glue using a method that Ian showed me, and I believe he has a video on. And I will save the hand binding or hand sewing for later. Rachel Nelson is letting me know that the fabric, thank you, Rachel, I owe you something. So I will send you an email and take care of that this weekend. Not binding, but batting. Yeah. Okay. I'm not sure what that meant. Oh, sorry. I see. So what Rachel is alluding to, Mom, is she more than I, have picked out fabric that is going to be used for a quilted jacket that she is making for you. And she has ordered that fabric, and I think you are going to love it when it comes. I think you're going to love this. So I'm really excited for that to be finished. Karen says, Becca, I just refurbished a 1960 Kenmore 158.480. She sews very nicely. I'm so proud of myself. I did everything, no help. Changed belts and bobbins and tires and all the things. Awesome. Donna from Handmade by Ying is here. Make sure to check her out. You know, she goes live every Friday night right after I do, so you can hop over and see her. Kelly says, thank you so much. It's 100 by 100, so I don't want to hand sew. No, if you're not going to hand sew, sew it to the back, pull it to the front, and use a left compensating foot to help keep your stitching on the straight and narrow on the front of your quilt. You will see the stitching on the back of the quilt, but if it's 100 by 100, I'm guessing this is a quilt that is designed to be used, and you don't care about the trail that's going to be left on the back. Linda says, I sew my binding the same way, even though I machine to the front and hand on the back. Awesome. Susan says, I will be sewing quilt blocks for Summer Moon and Tilda's Daydreamer quilt over spring break. Awesome. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Linda Denton is here and says, hello, everyone. Congrats, Ian. Kevin Green says, have you ever quilted anything from 3-yard quilts by Fabric Cafe? Yes, Kevin, I actually have. When Mom was here, we put together a quilt. I have all of the 3-yard books. We put together a pattern or a quilt using one of the patterns from the 3-yard books. And I will just say, the patterns for me are hard to read. The designs are nice. They're great, but I keep getting confused when I read them. I am more of a visual person, and the illustrations aren't even in color, so it makes it hard for me to understand what they're saying. But we did persevere. We did pull through. It was good. The one thing I'm going to tell you, though, my one thing for you, if you do choose to make a pattern from a 3-yard book, I know it says 3 yards, but buy up. Round up a 1/4 of a yard at least, because what my experience has been is sometimes the books are assuming a certain width of fabric from the fabric that you're going to use, and it's assuming that you'll be able to get X amount of subcuts out of your yardage, and that may not be the case. You might be just a few inches shy. So I would recommend, don't just buy 1 yard of each of those fabrics. Maybe buy 1.25 yards or 1.5 yards. It is better to have too much than not enough and have to shrink your quilt down. Worst case scenario, if you have too much, you can make a few extra blocks and grow the quilt out a little bit more. Becca, is there a Zoom retreat this weekend? I just joined a VIP program. May I join the retreat? It is not this weekend. It is next weekend. And yes, you can. So if you are a member of my channel membership here, meaning your name right now on the live stream is in a green font, that means you are a channel member and you are invited to any of the Zooms that I do, whether they are weekend retreats or just monthly sews. And that Zoom link will be dropped in, to the community tab the day before it happens. So it'll hit probably Friday of next week. Might try to get it out to you a couple days earlier. And the Zoom will be open Saturday through Sunday. Now, that is a separate membership than what I have on my website, which is a VIP all access exclusive program. You still get access to the Zooms, but in addition to that, you get occasional discount codes if I have them. I don't really sell much very often, so I don't talk about that. You do get a copy of all of my patterns for free, and you get a monthly newsletter with some behind the scenes things that are happening in my world, both personal and sewing. So you have kind of an insider look to what's going on. So yeah, if you're interested, the channel memberships are either $1.99 or $4.99, depending on what works for your budget. The benefits are the same. You do what works for your budget. And then over on my website is $5 a month or $55 for a full year. Same Zoom access, but then you get those extra perks added on. I am going to sneeze. Let me mute. Oh my gosh! Oh my gosh! Of course, I muted the mic, so no, I'm not going to sneeze. Of course not. Of course not. I did see the chat. I'm going to move this out of the way and turn that fan down because, man, now I'm getting cold. I did see in the chat people saying, well, now that you have the kit, you must do the gravity quilt. I hear you. I hear you. I just got to figure out where I have time to do said gravity quilt. So we will definitely be taking a look at that. And I'm going to keep those letters because I want to be able to send her a nice thank you. All right, we're going to set this out of the way. I'm going to get to sewing, guys. And I want to show you what I'm working on. And we're going to have a little conversation about this because it's a thing. Rachel Nelson says, I am going on a retreat. I can do the virtual retreat from my retreat. Yes. Kelly is asking, do you have Sunday lives every Sunday? I do not, but Ian does. And so does Tiffany. The Zooms, though, if that's what you're referring to, the Zooms on Sunday are usually the last Sunday of every month, unless I've got something else going on. And then I'll just kind of work it around my schedule, but it's usually on a Sunday. Are you still doing the Sewology quilt? Renee Cook wants to know. Yes. However, I think Donna and I are talking about a new way to breathe life into it. And so stay tuned. I don't know. It's halted at this point. I don't know. I've got something on the end of my nose. I'm so sorry. I don't know what that's going to look like going forward, but once we figure it out, we will let you know. We haven't moved forward, so don't feel like you're getting lost on that. I still volunteer if you choose not to, Becca. Volunteer for what? What did I miss? What did I miss? Did you volunteer to do gravity? Is that what you volunteered to do? Christine Wolf wants to know, is it okay to come in later Saturday? I'm working that day. Yes. Listen, if you are a channel member or a VIP member, that Zoom, that retreat, we're going to focus on UFOs and getting our work in progresses done. So bring your own project, BYOP this time around. We're not going to do anything big and over the top. It's just an area for you to go and join and have fun with other quilters. It will be opened Saturday morning and it will stay open until Sunday night. So come and go as you please. The Zoom's not going anywhere. So Becca, are you doing a retreat? Yes, I am, Jeannie. I'm not sure I said it right. I think I answered your question. Okay, somebody was asking, are the 3-yard quilts including background? Yes, it does. The way the patterns are written, it will include your background. And yes, by the way, Jean, the retreats are on Zoom. I do not at this point in time have a physical retreat planned. That does not mean that I won't have one in the future, but I promise you, if I do find all of the things and the stars align and I host an in-person retreat, it will not be on a like every month type of thing. It would probably be like once every year, every 2 years or something, more like what T Quilts does. And you will have ample notice to figure out whether or not you're going to go. And it would be a very limited number of seats, I think. So more to come on that. I have a desire to do one of those in person. I just don't have the logistics right now. Okay, what am I going to work on? Well, let me tell you. I can't show you what the quilt's going to look like, but maybe you can picture it. Oh, somebody is talking about the giveaway. They want to know because they are wanting to make dinner. Okay, listen, let's do a couple of giveaways. Let me look. You know what? Let's say 3 packages, 3 mystery packages. Actually, let's make it 5. They might be a little bit smaller in nature, but then we can share the wealth a little bit more. So what I'm going to have Mary do is open up the giveaway, and you'll follow all the screen, all the things. She's going to run the giveaway for me so that I can get to sewing. And I so appreciate that she does that behind the scenes for me. So we're going to do 5 of them. Mary, why don't you kick off the first one now? If somebody's asking, it looks like Renee is wanting to know what state we're in. Ian is in the state of Texas. I am in the state of Virginia. Has anybody heard from Teresa Louise? Jan is asking. I have not. I have not. I know she... I don't know anything. I don't know anything. I just know that she and her husband do have some health concerns. They also live in the mountains, or out remote, not in the mountains. They live remotely. There's lots of snow. Sorry, I'm reading text coming in from Ian while I'm also talking. I am multitasking. So we're going to do this because I know you guys are hearing the dings, and that's got to be annoying. So let's mute the sound so that I can keep talking with you. I have not heard from her. I know she lives remotely. I know snow is a big issue for her this time of year, which does impact her internet. I haven't heard anything, so I don't know. My best advice to you is, if you're really concerned, you can send her an email. Her email address is listed on her channel, I believe. You can leave a comment on her channel. But again, if she doesn't have internet, she's not going to get any of that stuff. I'm just checking to make sure that the bot is working, because it doesn't look like it's handing out tickets. It's not handing out tickets. Okay. Mary, I've got to fix this, and I'll have to show you how to do this later, but I'm not going to be able to do it right now. It's going to be too difficult to walk. Oh, nope, there it goes. There it goes. Sorry. Sometimes the bot doesn't, YouTube doesn't like the word that we use for the giveaways, and so sometimes we have to change it, and I thought that's what was going to happen, but it's all good. Yeah, but anyway, just stay subscribed to her channel. If anybody hears from her, maybe share it. Put it in Facebook somewhere. Let people know that you've heard from her. I know a lot of people are worried about her, but I haven't heard from her in 6 weeks. I don't know. I don't know. All right, here we go. This is what I'm working on. So I'm going to go to the overhead view so I can show you. You guys can check this out while the chat's going crazy with people getting their tickets. So I am making these blocks. This is going to be for a quilt that I have designed and I am going to put together. And my idea here is I want to make kind of like a rainbow quilt. And so what I've really done is created FPP templates that have an area for my black background, which is on this end and this end of this block, and just this end of this block. And then I've picked out these really vibrant, bright, beautiful batiks that all go together really nicely. And so I've got to make 24 of this block and 20 of this block. I think it's like that, something like that. I've got to make about 44 blocks altogether. I do have several already made, and so I figured on tonight's live stream, I would just keep working on these and talk to you about why I'm making this block, why I'm doing this. So this is a quilt that I have designed in EQ8. It is going to be foundation paper piece when it's all put together, but it's going to come together a little bit like a legit kit does. The legit kit quilts, those are all FPP, and they are very intricate, but the way they're designed to work is they're broken down into blocks that are all the same size, and then you put the blocks together. And the blocks aren't square, they're rectangular. That's somewhat what I'm doing here. These are essentially string pieced blocks, but because I want the rainbow, the colors to match up absolutely perfectly, it's very important to me that I'm keeping the exact same distance for all of my seams on all of these blocks. And so that's why I'm choosing to do this with FPP rather than just traditional piecing. So I'm going to walk through making some of these. And then I did have a couple of comments from Ian come through that I'm going to read. Kelly says, were you going to do a friendship braid at a weekend retreat? I thought you mentioned that last week. I bought my fabric. She's chosen Stonehenge Gradations by Northcott. That's awesome. No, I wasn't planning to do it at this retreat. However, I do have a tutorial video that's coming out this week. I believe it's this week. I have to look at my social media calendar. But I do have a tutorial video that's coming out that'll show you how to make one. And if you are a member of my VIP program, I will make a point, actually, if you join the retreat next week, to walk you through it. So if you've bought the fabric and you want to make one, I'll walk you through it every step of the way. We'll take the whole weekend to do it. You'll have it done in the weekend, hopefully. We'll just go to a separate room when I'm ready to give instruction. And so whoever wants it is more than welcome to come and do it. And of course, you'll have the YouTube video to go back and watch the tutorial if you need a little bit of extra help. Trying to keep up with the chat while everybody's getting their tickets. Crystal says, oh, good. I need to finish my braid. Yeah, so if any of you took the class at So Yeah with me where I taught you how to do the friendship braid table runner, this would be a great opportunity for you to hop on a Zoom and get your little braid finished so that you can have your project done. Okay, so what I've been doing to streamline my process is I've been trying to build out 2 blocks at once. I'm going to tell you, if you have been in the world of legit kits, those FPP kits are awesome, but they are very intricate, very detailed. And so an FPP project like this, I'm going to zoom you guys out so you can see a little bit more. There we go. An FPP project like this can be a bit of a palate cleanser when it comes to FPP, because you're like, oh, that block did not take me 15 years to do. And I might not be exaggerating on some of that. So there we go. Each of these blocks come together really, really quickly. And so what I've been doing is sewing one while the other is being pressed. And I'm just going back and forth on that. So I'm going to keep these blocks kind of in view because people are going to inevitably ask me what I'm working on. And I want to just be able to show them I'm making those blocks. All right. So this is how I do it. I get the first one together. And I sew the first seam on. And then while I'm letting that press and cool, then I stitch the other one, but it all starts with getting the fabric ready to go. The background on this quilt is a solid. It is actually deep black. It is an art gallery solid. So there is no right side, there is no wrong side, and the batiks have a bit of texture to them, but they definitely read as solids rather than prints. And these particular batiks don't have a right side or a wrong side really, so I can use them either way. So there's no worrying about whether or not I put the fabrics right side together. Let's turn this off and let's turn, that'll make the lighting better. There we go. What if I started a braid runner? Can I still join in? What if I never started? Absolutely. If you don't know anything about me, when it comes to those Zooms, I'm up for anything. Like, I'm willing to do whatever you guys want to do. If there are people on the Zoom retreat that want to make the braid runner and you have or have not watched the tutorial, or you have or have not started one, or you have or have not taken the class that I taught for So Yeah, you are more than welcome. Like, I am more than happy to show you what I know and walk you through working on that project. It's a fairly easy project. M. Smith is asking, what kind of rotary cutter are you using? This is the Martelli rotary cutter. It is the only rotary cutter I use. It is ergonomic. I love it. My wrist does not get tired. Okay, so while that's cooling under the clapper, I'm going to grab my next piece. I'm going to fold this back. I'm going to line up and go. Pat Strawhouse was asking, Becca, will you send postcards for international entries as per usual? Maybe. It'll either be a postcard or it might be an actual oh goodness, my nose itches. It might be an actual prize. It just depends on how much shipping is, right? Like if your prize is a charm pack and it's going to cost me $20 to mail you the charm pack, I'm probably going to send you a postcard. But if the root of the question that you were trying to get to, Pat, are the giveaways open to international? Yes, they are always open to international. I just may not send you a big package. You might just get a handwritten letter or postcard or a gift card or something else or a pattern or something from me. You will get something in the mail. It just might not be a big box of fabric because I don't have that much money to spend on the postage. Katina, I got your postcard, speaking of, if you didn't see that earlier. Thank you so much. Ba, ba, ba. And so now this one is ready to go. And I will flip this one over. Your clappers are very pretty, Doreen says. Thank you. They are from Modern American Vintage. It's I love it, love it, love it. Christine says, I bought vellum paper for FPP. It is so much easier to remove. I've heard of people using vellum paper. I did not have any on hand. In fact, I went to look to see if I still had newsprint on hand. I didn't, so I had to print it on regular copy paper. And while that's there, then I will... Today, I watched a movie with the family during dinner called Damsel. It's a Netflix movie with Millie Bobby Brown in it. Oh, it was so good, you guys. Such a good movie. Highly, highly recommend. Doreen says, I would pay my shipping. I don't have a problem with that. We can work something out. But I'm not I also don't have time to chase PayPal invoices to get a gift out. So listen, if you win and you're international and you want a package and you want to pay your shipping, we can talk. We can talk. Hey, babe.
Hello.
What's up?
Just locking up.
Okay. Folks are saying that they saw the previews for Damsel and they can't wait to see it. It was good. It was good. Damsel was good, yeah?
Yeah, even though I had to twist everybody's arm to come watch the friggin' movie.
Well, it was still good. I am warm. Oh, Debbie Dunn says I use crystal paper. It's similar to vellum. Awesome. Okay. Oh, shoot. Look what I did. Look what I did wrong. That's not going to work. Okay. So I have the red building out underneath the black because I wasn't paying attention when I started sewing this one on. I just started getting into the rhythm. That's okay. We're just going to rip through. We're going to seam rip this. And I do have scraps for all of this fabric, so, and I haven't trimmed it yet, so it should be okay. Come on. There we go. This should be under this side, other side. And the only reason why I turned that around is because, again, I want the spacing for my fabric to be absolutely exact. So I'm going to put that in my scrap pile, and we're going to build this out the right way. So let's try this one more time. Donna, what are you working on your live tonight? And you guys, by the way, I don't think I've been mentioning this the past couple months, and I want to remind you that it's out there. So I've collabed with some smaller channels to do what I'm calling a traveling quilt. Everybody in this series is making a row for a finished quilt that we will put together later in the year, and then we're going to quilt it up and we're going to give it away. We're going to give it away. And if you want to see what these other content creators are making, what their rows are looking like, you can see this quilt come to life. So I've got a playlist with everybody's video contribution on my YouTube channel. If you scroll down, if you go to my channel and you scroll down, it'll say the traveling quilt and it'll have everybody's video in there. Right now there are 3 videos out there for you to watch. There's the kind of the kickoff announcing the collab that I did in January. Then Sean's row was done in February, Sean from The Guy Who Sews, and Beth from Goody Goods, her video dropped March 1st. So go check those out, see what their rows look like. And if you liked their personality, if you liked their format, if you'd like to see more content from them, subscribe. All right, looks like we're going to pick a winner. Hello, Amber the Kitten. How are you? Are you giving your master a hard time? I remember that from last week. Yep, Stephanie Harris is one of the travelers. Her row will be in September. I'll be excited to see what she does. It seems like everybody's trying to put their own personality into these rows. Amy Dement is going to be one of the travelers. Who else is in the group? I'm trying to remember. The Farm on Highway J is going to be in there. Crystal Hart is going to be in there. Russ from Quilt Meets World is in there. Lots of folks I haven't collabed with before. Nikolai says, Katie and Nico here. Hello, Becca. I was actually thinking about you earlier today, Katie. Mom took a batch of that yarn. So you guys, I met Katie in person at QuiltCon, and several of us, including Debbie Dunn, I think, went out to dinner one of the evenings that we were there. And she gave me back like 5 tote bags of yarn for my mom, and I brought them back. And so she's not really big into crocheting right now, but she has promised to make Tiffany a purple Afghan out of the yarn, or at least using some of the yarn that you donated. So she's taken all of the purple and she's taken it home, and she's supposed to be working on it. We'll see if when she actually gets it finished. So the rest of it is here waiting for her to visit again. So I might be borrowing some of those skeins to play with. My sister's coming in for Easter, and when she sees that, I think I'm going to have a hard time keeping her away from all of it. Congratulations on winning, Pam. Make sure to say something in the chat to let us know that you're here, and then you'll want to email your You'll want to email your physical mailing address to info@sewbecca.com, and we'll get a package out in the mail to you. It may or may not be some of the things that you saw on tonight. We'll figure it out. I feel like I got a pimple growing on the inside of my nose. All right, we're going to go to the green one now. I feel like I need to bring this out a little bit more. It's not perfectly square, but at least now you can see what I'm working on a little bit better, because I'm not up. I'm kind of working at the edge of the table. Sorry, that's not a straight shot, but like it looks angled, but I can't do anything about that. She will. She will enjoy the yarn. She's already enjoying it. She said to say thank you. I love your new clapper. Me too. I'm happy to support more. I'm happy to show off more clappers if Modern American Vintage wants to send me some for free. I just can't afford more than the one. They're pricey, but so pretty. And honestly, I mean, how many do you really need? Oh, needle came unthreaded. So Terry says she just checked Facebook and Teresa Louise has not posted on Facebook either. It could be that she doesn't have internet right now. If the snow gets really bad where she's at, she does not have internet. Oh no, Pam says, I was so excited when you said Pam won, but that was not my last name. I'm so sorry, I didn't see who it was. Maybe next time. We got a few more to give away. Linda says, you only need 1 or 2 or 3 more. Listen, if they're free, I'll take them all. I do want a square one with the little handle that they have, but I don't have the budget to buy that right now. So I will settle for this one because it's gorgeous and it does the job. Pam Conley, that's me. Thanks. Awesome, Pam. Make sure to send an email to info@sobecca.com with your physical mailing address and we'll send something out to you. I don't know what it is. You may or may not have seen it tonight. We'll figure it out tomorrow. See, you do need at least one more. Hey, somebody email Modern American Vintage and tell them to send me one for free. I do have the square one that the artisan that's local, the woodworker, can't remember, Hard Rock Woodworks, I think is who it is. I do have that one still, and that's nice, but the one from Modern American Vintage would be gorgeous. Also, you know who makes clappers that are gorgeous? Fallon's husband. Way to plug So Be It Quilts. There you go. There you go. Look. Look, there you go. There you go. Yep, I think Matt makes the ones that look like an iron with a handle on top. Yes, he does. They're cute. And I think he's even put like Fallon's name on them, at least for hers. I don't know. I'm sure he would do that for some of you for an upcharge if you were looking for that. These bright colors look like they just glow in the camera screen. Judy says, yes, it was a handle on top. I just love how it looks. Katina says, my little brother does woodworking. I'm trying to get him to make me one, but no joy so far. Oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, nope, I need purple. This one needs the purples. Tiffany said, sorry, Becca, I am not so chatty. I am still trying to get some jobs on the long arm done, so it's hard to hear you over my quilting. Hey, I know firsthand what your quilting on the long arm sounds like. So you do what you got to do. Carla says, yes, he does. I have one with my name on it. See? So he will personalize it for you if you are interested. Don't forget there's another mystery item being given away in the chat. Exclamation raffle. If you are watching this live, we'll get you a ticket. Linda says, I keep saying that I'm not buying more until after I get back from traveling, but I also tell myself to clean the house. Neither seems to be working. Becca, do you back tack your seams as you go? Yes, I do. Because I have had too many instances where stitches come popped out when I start ripping the paper out. So yes, I do. Both at the start and the stop. Nico is in the chat, so Bill says, Nico is in the chat, so now is Roger. Hey, Roger. We're just getting all the husbands and partners involved in the quilty chat. Somebody go get mine. Tell them to tune in. I saw on Facebook Marketplace today, somebody was selling a Singer 301 for $50. And I keep joking with Bill. About this white Singer featherweight that is his mom's. It's not his, but it's on a shelf in his home, and it is gorgeous. Maybe it's his parents' home, but it is gorgeous. And I keep telling him he can send it to me anytime. He has not sent it to me. But he did say, you should consider a 301 instead of a featherweight because it's it's about the same size. I think he said that. But it is much faster, and you like to go faster. And I was like, And he had a white Singer featherweight that he teased in front of me at QuiltCon. He was like, look, I have this. My dad has this one. It could probably be for sale. I was like, well, how much would he want for it? It's beautiful. And it's in nice working condition. And so he went back and asked his dad, and his mom was like, no, that one's not for sale. And I was like, you got my hopes up. So in the back of my head, I've been kind of thinking like, what if I got a 301? What if I got a 301? But I don't really have the budget for it, so I'm not. And then I saw one pop up on Facebook Marketplace. And I was like, ooh, $50. And then I could take my time getting it painted and serviced and made to work. That'd be great. Somebody asked me how big my quilt will be when it's finished. I honestly don't know because I don't have the quilt layout in front of me. But I think it's 50 by 50. I think it's going to be 50 by 50. I agree on the backtracking. I do it in most of my piecing now because just too many edges gave way. Yes, and you know what else I do? I've learned to do the victory lap around a quilt. Once it's all pieced, like less than 1/8 of an inch away from the edge of the quilt, just all the way around to help keep everything locked in, nice and tight, reduce the fraying, all the things. And I did see somebody on social media post, like they called that last edge stitch around the edge of the quilt a victory lap. So I can't take credit for that, but I thought it was cute, so I adopted it for me. Buy the $50 one, Bill said. Okay, fine, I will. Like I can afford $50. But listen, if I go to pick this up and the guy murders me, it's your fault. I'll take Jason with me. M. Smith is saying, I have one of my mom's singers. How do you know what model it is? I can't answer that question. I just use the salvage, but maybe somebody else in the chat can. So this quilt that I am working on right now is going to be a quilt that I intend to put in quilt shows. So let's talk about that story for just a moment. I have submitted a couple of quilts to be considered for the Greenville Quilt Fest in Greenville, South Carolina. I think I have 2 submitted. I have not heard back yet whether or not they have been accepted. I am hoping they will be. I will not be at that quilt show, but I do believe Mary's planning to drive up to it. So if anybody would like to meet Mary at the Greenville Quilt Fest, I am sure she's going to be there at least one of the days. So more to come on that. However, I want to talk to you a little bit about quilt entries. So what I am learning is that some quilt shows don't like kits. They're not accepted, or they're accepted for display only and not allowed to be competitive. I didn't realize this was a thing. And I feel like over the past couple years, so much of my time has been spent making quilt kits, making quilts from kits. And what I define as a quilt kit is when somebody else gives you the pattern and picks all the fabrics for you, and all you have to do is go home and do the work, piece it together, and quilt it. It does not mean it doesn't take talent, but your creativity is not like you're just following instructions. You're following the precision. You're putting it together, and the design element is really left up to somebody else. I actually don't think that's a problem. If that's what brings you joy, then please do that. However, I want to be able to enter some of these quilt shows that seem to value unique pieces that are not cookie cutter. They're not kits. So either you bought a pattern that's in circulation and you brought your own fabric to it and maybe you modified the pattern or didn't modify the pattern, whatever, or you came up with your own design and pulled your fabrics and made your own quilt. And that's what this is going to be. And I believe, I don't think I have enough still. I might be able to give you an idea a little bit about how this is going to go together. So let's see if I can replicate this a bit. So it's going to be, there's going to be some negative space in here. Yeah, I can't. It's gonna essentially be the letter X. So kind of like this all the way around. Do you see how it's kind of coming together? If I zoom out a little bit more. Kind of a little bit like this. Oops. Nope. Yeah. It's gonna be like this is gonna be here. Like that. Like this. Do you see how that's starting to come together? It's going to be a rainbow X. You can kind of see the pattern starting to form. That's what I'm working on. But it's going to be on a bigger scale than just these 16 blocks. It's going to be pretty big. And in order for it to be big, I need to make a second block that'll allow me to fill in some of those negative spaces where I'm pivoting. And so that's what I'm making. That's what I'm working on. Mike said, Becca, your FPP sold me. VIP member now. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mike. Linda says, hey, Becca, my 1-year report. You walked me through piecing my first block 13 months ago. With a 4-month travel break, I have 25 quilt tops done. Holy cow, Linda. That is amazing. Go you. Debs says her featherweight is a 1938. Very cool. I had a featherweight that I gifted to my friend Mary. I tried sewing on it and I was like, this goes way too slow. No thanks. There we go. We keep that. This is another block with some fuzzy bits on it. There we go. Susan says, I ordered yardage from Joann's way back on February 10th, and it still has not arrived. I'm taking a journey up. It must be taking a journey up and down the East Coast, P.O. Box to P.O. Box. By this time, I could have driven there and back with it. Hello, Shelly Soaves. How are you? Let me get 2 more of these prepped and ready. Let's see if I can get 2 more done quickly and then do a little bit of sew and share, and then I'm going to bed. How many of you have vintage machines in your possession? How many of you have that? Wait, let's do it fun. How many, put a heart in the chat if you have more than 5 vintage sewing machines in your possession, like in your home. Harriet Susan Franklin, you won. Please reply in the chat to acknowledge that you've won, and then email info@sewbecca.com with your physical mailing address to claim your gift within 48 hours. Congratulations, Harriet Susan Franklin. Mona has more than 5. Bill, we all knew Bill had more than 5. Tanya Rogers has more than 5. I want to know what Tanya has because I feel like I could go visit Tanya's machines and look at them and oogle them. So Terry says, I have many more than 5 in my home, but I believe you do. We have had email correspondence. I believe you do. Whoa, hold on. I'm missing everybody. I want to see all the people that have more than 5 when I only have 1. Okay, hold on. Scrolling up. I have many more. My Quilt Projects has more than 5. Gwendolyn has more than 5, I believe that. Peggy has 3. Mary Jane Souza has more than 5. Mary Overbeck has more than 5. Sheila Gage has more than 5. So Terry, I already knew you had that. Math Geek says, LOL, only 4. Joy Douglas has more than 5. Alexandra has more than 5 and did the facepalm emoji. Katina has more than 5. Susie Rose Finley has more than 5. I gotta scroll back up. Stitching Time says, I have 2. I have 2. That's cute. That's awesome. Oh man, my nose is itching. Alicia Pritchard says, I have several. Shelly So says, I have several vintage sewing machines. Okay, so for all of you that have vintage machines, you've got to tell me, what is your very favorite one? What is the one that you currently have that is your favorite? And what is the one that you have been, like the unicorn? What's the one that you're shopping for? Would love to know. And I'm also getting Facebook open so that we can do a little bit of sew and share in just a moment. So whatever you're working on tonight, make sure to drop a photo of it over in the Facebook group. Exclamation Facebook will get you a link in the chat. And that will be, sorry, I'm playing double duty right now. Exclamation Facebook will get you a link to the Facebook group. You can drop your picture over there and we can see it when we get to that part. Okay. I want to see what you guys are saying. Okay. Joyce says, I have 1 Singer treadle. Fern King says has a treadle and she wants, or they want, a featherweight 221. Mary Rose Spriggs says, my Kenmore from the 60s is my favorite vintage. Mary Overbeck says her Bernina 1130 and Singer 404 are her favorites. Bill says Lois, my 51 featherweight, and Aretha, my 51 301. Judy Hebert says the featherweight is the one I love the most. Susie Hewlett says favorite is my 1938 featherweight. Katie Kraft says 1948 featherweight is my favorite. Katrina says, I don't have room for more machines. Oh my goodness. Tracy Dane says the Singer treadle from 1902 is my favorite. So Terry says her favorite is her Singer 201. She has 1 and she loves it, and she loves her 1591. Yo, Patty G has 5+. Lori has 2. Lori Mullen doesn't have any. I only have 1. I feel you. Mary Rose Spriggs says, is my 25-year-old Bernina vintage? Don't they say like if it's over 20 years old, it's vintage for everything? I don't know. Roseanne Standish says, sorry, none here. Katrina Hughes says, no vintage machines. Valerie says, why do you do a victory lap around a quilt? Do you do it after trimming the quilt and before you put the binding on? So it's a quilt top. Once you make your quilt top, before you send it off to a long armor or put it on the shelf to quilt 5 years from now, whatever the case may be, if you do an edge stitch around all 4 sides of the quilt top, like 1/8 of an inch out, that's going to do 3 things really. 1, if there's any bias on the edges of your quilt, it's going to stabilize it, so it's not going to be as stretchy. 2, if you have any piecing on the outer part of your quilt, even if it's just the borders attaching themselves to the quilt, it's going to lock that stitching in so those seams don't pop as easily. And 3, it's going to help reduce some of the fraying that may happen on the quilt top over time. All right. Oh no. Wait. Katie Kraft says, I have something in my garage. Previous owners left it when I bought my house. I really need to check it out. When we were looking for our home, there were a couple of homes that had like antique sewing machines in there, like treadles, as like just decor. And I was like, hey, I'll buy this house, but can they leave the sewing machine? It was a joke that I thought was funny every time, but I'm pretty sure my realtor was just like, you know what, that's not funny anymore. Will you please stop saying that? Guess who Nancy says? I'm vintage, times 3. Carolina Brown says, hey, my 1996 Singer is not vintage. I guess I am too. Oh, Yo Patty G says, I just bought the Elma Grasshopper from So Terry. Perfect FPP and applique machine. Ah, Susan says that's what seamstresses call stitching. I believe it. I'll call it stay stitching, but I'm also going to call it a victory lap. Lisa says, I have 2 antique machines that need a lot of work. How do I find out what year they are from so I can fix them? Can somebody in the chat, in the live chat, help her out? Because I don't have an answer for that. I know with Singers, they had, I know Singers have a database of serial numbers. You can get the serial number and look it up, but that's about as much as I know. Oh my gosh, Terry Hastings says, I have 12 vintage machines. You win the prize tonight. Congratulations. Shelly So says, as a long armor, I appreciate it when they do the victory lap around the quilt top. I bet. I actually never did one until Tiffany came. And Tiffany was pointing out, like, well, I've heard of them and I've wanted to do them, so it's not like I was blind to it. But Tiffany convinced me to do lots of things with my quilt tops, like base them when I put them on the long arm. So victory lap was another thing we discussed. Linda Taylor says, I found a featherweight in a garage sale for $10. I told the man that he was too cheap. He said he never saw his wife use it. It was like new. He said he wanted me to have it and wouldn't even take the $10. Oh. So Terry says, I'm not going to count my machines. I may need an intervention. Jean says, my brother is 22 years old and it's the only one I own and use. When you do a victory lap, should you use a walking foot? I don't, but you can. Listen, there are some people in this world that believe in the walking foot for everything. There are some people in this world that believe in the walking foot for only some things. There are some people in this world that don't use the walking foot at all. I subscribe to the third category, but I know it has its benefits. I just am lazy. Like, if I'm being completely honest with you, sorry, I know not everybody likes that saying. I'm being completely honest with you. I am not a big fan of changing out my feet unless I absolutely have to. And I don't typically do a lot of bulk on my machine because all of my quilting, for the most part, is done on the long arm. Now, that said, if I decide I'm going to start doing some straight line quilting, I do have an awesome seam guide, but it only works with a walking foot. So in that case, if I wanted to do some straight line quilting and I wanted to use a seam guide, I would definitely pull out the walking foot. The advantage to the walking foot is that it's supposed to feed the entire sandwich through with the same speed. So your top of your quilt sandwich or your bulk is going through at the same speed that the bottom is with the feed dog. So you shouldn't get creases and twists and stuff in your quilting like you would if you didn't use the walking foot. But some people love the walking foot for everything. I've seen people use the walking foot for everything they do. Piecing, traditional FPP, applique, like the walking foot never comes off of their machine. You do you. There's no rules in quilting. Well, there is. The only rule is do what makes you happy. Tyler says, Kimberly Jolly from Fat Quarter Shop changes her feet out constantly. More power to her, but that's too much effort for me. I have 3 feet that I go between. My traditional foot, my left compensating foot, which I love for binding, and occasionally my stitch in the ditch foot if I'm trying to get binding that looks a little bit more like hand. But honestly, I don't even mess with the stitch in the ditch foot that much. It's the left compensating foot for the win for me. Karen Lettle says, oops, my Kenmore gets occasional servicing. It should happen more often is all I can say. I was told my Kenmore is actually a singer. Oh. How did that happen? Shelly says I use my walking foot for straight line quilting and to put on my binding. You see that? Billy says I have a vintage 1949 Singer in a cabinet and an Elna serger that I bought new in 1984. Are you saying you have a foot fetish? Ian is asking me. No, I do not. Although I do love a good pedicure. Oh, Singer made the Kenmores. People are saying that Singer made the Kenmores. Okay, okay. Okay, Stitch in Time. That name, listen, you want to know what's going through my head right now? It's like, it's squirrel moment. I'm reading your name and literally singing the Mary Poppins song. That Dick Van Dyke was like Stitch in Time, whatever. Like that song's going through my head. So that's why I got a little quiet. I was like, oh. Oh my gosh. The thoughts that just run through my head. It's like, it's a free-for-all up there sometimes. Was that Mary Poppins? Now I'm questioning whether it was Mary Poppins. Somebody out there knows the song I'm talking about. Here late today, been fighting with my 10 needle. Oh no, Cheryl. Kick your knees up, step in time. Now you have it in my head. Listen, it is not a Friday night if sewing doesn't happen and I don't give you an earworm. You're welcome. Oh my gosh. Was anybody going to tell me that I left the iron on the fabric for too long? Anybody? Did I scorch it? Sadly, actually, I don't think I did. Well, maybe I did. We'll put this in the... Yeah, I think I did. I think I scorched it. It still looks pretty bright. I don't know. I think we might be okay. I think we might be okay. How long was it sitting there? I don't see burn marks. I don't see burn marks. Mary Poppins Step in Time. Okay, good. I'm glad y'all are like, yep, that's it, because now I can relax a little bit. Oh no, didn't see you do that. Is it crispy? Well, I did put starch on it, so it's crispy, but it's not crispy. Like, I don't think it's burned. Yeah, no. I think it's okay. I don't know. I'll put the clapper on. You know, I'm starting to make mistakes. You know what that means? It's time to go look and see what you guys have been doing, because when you start making mistakes, that's when you will regret having continued. Do not persevere. Do not keep pushing through. If you make more, like, I feel like I should have a couple of rules of thumb. Like, if you make 2 mistakes, 3 mistakes, quit for the night. You can't hear us in the chat, Mom, Dad. Sorry, I wasn't paying attention to the iron. I feel a bit silly. Oh, you're totally fine. You guys are totally fine. Let's go take a look at the Facebook group and see what you guys have been working on tonight. And maybe sing Stitch in Time. Step in Time. Step in Time. That's Stitch in Time. Okay, kick your knees up, step in time. That's it. That's it. That's it. Y'all got it. All right. Let's go take a look over at the Sew and Tell and see what you're working on tonight. Yes, no more giveaways, Mary. However many we have is what we have. We'll do some more next week if we would like. All right, so first up, right away, I just want to give Ian another shout out. Cordless iron would be cooling, so you're probably fine. I have scorched my fabric with that iron before, so just saying. But I don't see any burn marks there. Okay, if you missed it at the start of the chat, Ian won first place for People's Choice with his Rainbow Vortex, and I just want to make sure that we give him a shout out again. Ian, way to go. This was at the Sewing Machine plus Virtual Quilt Fest. So congratulations again. Let's see what you guys have been working on tonight. Oh my goodness. Brenda says this is what she is working on now. Wow, that's so pretty. Third raffle winner called. Ask Mary. Mary, if you could address the raffle questions, please. Tracy says, this is what I have been working on lately. Wow, let's just zoom in and see all this good. Oh, look at this. Look at all this Tula fabric. Ian would love this. So much going on with that quilt. All bright colors. Love it. Valerie Stormquist says, I have gotten this far on my quilt. The pattern name is Long Time Gone. I love a sampler quilt that has blocks that aren't all the same size. Isn't that great? Kristen Sedlock says, I'm continuing to work on my wall hanging, sewing up and ironing today. This is the pattern. Somebody's going to ask. Let's just drag it up here. The pattern is called Stitches from the Heart, and it is a Fat Quarter Shop pattern, but this was probably exclusive for a Cupid box. Oh, wow. Sherry says she finished this on Tuesday and gifted it to her daughter for her new nail salon. You guys, look at that. Oh, Andrea was a finalist for the Dream Studio. Awesome. The print moda should be super fun. Congratulations, Andrea. Christina Hepworth says, working on a double Irish chain with some leftover Marvel superhero fabric. My son has 2 quilts with the fabric already, so I'm maybe making a baby quilt for a friend. Susan Yearout says, my pile of summer moon blocks that I have finished, a Sasquatch wall quilt that I made, and hand quilted a tote bag. Oh, it is a free pattern. The heart from Kristen that she posted is a free pattern in Fat Quarter Shop, so you can go grab that. This is from Renee Lamley. Pretty quilt. So Terry says that she's been playing with foils and parted out a featherweight in an effort to plan out a rebuild. Not of this one, but with a featherweight from 1937. It's been a journey and becoming a saga, but I love doing this. Anne Marie says, what I've been working on this week, Mondo bag pattern from Quilt Smart and the Pixie Lane from Pine Needles Design. Judy says this is her Hunter Star quilt. That's on my list of things that I want to make one day. We got that one already. All right, let's refresh and see what else has come into the chat. Sorry, making sure that I have the link for Donna's channel ready to go at the end of the live. This is Nikolai and Katie at one of the shops that they hopped to. So if you don't know, Katie has been going all over all sorts of quilt shops in Florida. So you'll have to go over to her channel and check that out. Exclamation Katie, I think in the chat will get you a link to her channel. You can check out her quilt tour videos because I think she's been taking you along for the journey. And don't forget, the deep dive block of the month from Legit Kits is still out there. It's available. Sign up. It's going to close sometime next month. And if you use my code Becca Dive, one of two things is going to happen. Thing number one, you're going to get a 15% savings on month one, but I will also get a small commission, which will help for giveaways and other fun things that we do over here on my channel. So I would appreciate if you used my code, if you sign up. I am going to do this. I will share my progress on social media, but I will not be doing all of the quilt on a live stream because that's a lot, or on any content, because that's a lot, it's just a lot. And it's not compelling to watch the entire thing come together, but you do want to see it as it goes. You know what I mean? So I'll share with you, but I won't be doing the entire thing in content. All right, just finished. I'm going to do a victory lap. Different type of victory lap. And then we're back to the one with Brenda. I think that was Brenda. Let's refresh and see if anything else came in. Oh, Carolina Brown. Oh, so cool. You know those quilts with like the squares, just the straight squares? Those are such beginner-friendly quilts. I'm sure all of you, that was a pattern that you did when you first started. Like that's, grab some squares and sew them together. Like, yeah, do it. But those are also great palette cleansers if you want to make a quilt, but you don't have a lot of time, or maybe you just don't have the creative bandwidth for a whole nother project. Grab a charm pack or two and just sew them together and you have a quilt. All right, let's see if anything else. Oh, there's the nail polish. Let's make this new post so we get anything new that came in. Carolina Brown. Oh, this is from Stephanie Sutton. She wrote, she's done. 112 inches square for the Iowa neighbor who plows the snow in the winter. Notice the coat. Still in Iowa tomorrow. Started the 26-hour drive back to Florida. Wow. And it's just 3 different fabrics. Well, 4. I see 4. 4 different fabrics. And then we're back to Katie. All right. I think that's it. We'll refresh one more time. Oh, Sheila Gage says this is her Halloween quilt kit. I've not seen one of those done. That's so pretty. And then we did let a couple of people in, so I'm trying to give them an opportunity to share a photo before we end for tonight. Here it is. Elizabeth says this is a pineapple block quilt for her granddaughter. It's an easy block and quick to sew. I like how a pineapple quilt looks once the blocks start coming together. The individual blocks, I'm like, but once you put those blocks together, oh, I love it. I need to do a pineapple quilt. I started one years ago and then decided I was just going to hang it up and didn't. Maybe I need to get back on that or start it again when I have more bandwidth. And I think that's it. All right, friends. I am going to head up to bed. It's been a long week. I am ready to relax and unwind and get some rest because this weekend is going to be a fun sewing-filled weekend. A bazillion quilts to bind. I've got a lot more of these blocks to make, and I would like to not make mistakes on them when I do. So there's that. You don't have to sew. You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here. What is that? What I say? You don't have to go home, but you can't stay here because we closing. So I'm going to drop the link if I can get to my live chat again. The chat's just gone and I'm hunting for it. If I can get to the live chat, I will put Donna's channel link or her video link in the description or in the can't talk. It's going into the chat. It's in the chat now. Or was in the chat a few seconds ago. So I'm going to end the live stream here, but Donna is live over on her channel. If you want to stop in her sewing room and see what she's working on, you can click on that link. But don't worry, if you are busy sewing, you don't have to do anything, because once I end the live, it will automatically redirect you and take you over to her channel, and then you can enjoy all of the fun sewing that's happening at Handmade by Ying. I'll see you guys all next week. Don't forget, we've got that video tutorial coming out, and next weekend. Is it next weekend? Next weekend is, oh gosh, it's next weekend, right? I'm second guessing myself in this moment. Yes, next weekend. The 23rd and 24th is our retreat. I thought for a minute it was the wrong weekend. It's the weekend before Easter. Thanks, friends. I'll see you guys all next Friday. Bye.